Well, it's Friday and we've got a walkie-talkie coming, and I'm quite pleased it has in a way. This is Skiptech HS2000 2781 format, and more importantly it's come with its aerial. Now what I was waiting for is I already own two of these and we could have covered it. Oh, that's novel, isn't it? The mic's got a piece of plastic over here. So I've got two which have come off eBay over the years, and I've never looked at them because of the aerial situation. I needed to see another one with the same aerial, because you'll appreciate that testing these, it's alright doing the servicing video, but testing these as on field test, it's crucial that you've got the factory original aerial if you want the factory original results. We can plug it into our roof aerial here, no doubt we'll get 6 miles, and that's fine. So this is something we kind of wanted to do but not done. So the customer's come in and lo and behold he's sent his aerial in and it matches that one which we've already got. So that is fantastic. So I'll service his set, we're doing on the air test with it, subject to me getting it to work, and then I'll do a field test on one of ours so we're not dropping his set. So that's brilliant. Now I've had a quick look on the internet and I cannot find anything. I can't even find a user manual. So if any of you have got a user manual that you can scan and email to me, that would be really appreciated. And it just helps the library of stuff. Now I've got a belt clip on my scruffy one, and that is exactly the same as the belt clip used on the Maxon Apex business radios. Now have I got one up here? Yes. So it's the same belt clip as used on the Maxon. So I wonder if it comes out of the Maxon factory. You know, that just tells me that. If it said made in Korea on it, then that would also fit in. Distributed by Kerno. So we've got he's got serial number, oh I can't read that. I think this is 138. We've got 737 and we've got 656. I'm glad it wasn't 666. So any of you who need a belt clip, you can probably buy an old Maxon Apex radio, non-working, complete with a belt clip for £1 or £2 from eBay or from a radio rally, and then you've got yourself the proper belt clip if that was what you wanted. So his is the nice looking one. Mine is the one which looks like, oh no, mine's the nicotine one. His is the nice looking one, and mine is also the scruffy one. So I know which mine are because I've got Mr. Nicotine and I've got the scruffy one. So I'll put those on one side out of the way and we will look at his. I don't know if some of you others have noticed this, but I've noticed AA batteries have got fatter, and when they go in a compartment like this, some of the fatter rechargeable batteries, you end up having great difficulty getting them back out again. So whether it's not just the RS ones I've been buying or what, I don't know. Or have they taken the liberty and made them a millimetre fatter to get a bit more capacity? I don't know. But that's just an observation. I have that problem with the realistic sets, and that screwdriver is far too big. Go for this one. So with no information, we've got a blank sheet, no circuit, no user instructions, because there's a possibility there's a circuit in the user instructions. I've got a sneaking suspicion it's come out of the Maxon's factory, with it being the same belt clip. I'd have expected a country of origin. And I've got the background music on too high in here. Got ingress of moisture at the bottom there, which hopefully we can deal with. So to gain access to it, aha, the front comes away. Is that screw holding it? The answer is no, so we'll put that back. I'll just turn the tannoy speaker down in here. So I mean, that's again this type of speaker you'd find in a Maxon Apex handheld. So it's giving me the right vibes, but I can't. Aha! Watch those buttons. That one doesn't seem to remove easily. To be honest, it looks very nice. So although I own two, I've never switched one on. It looks, what's that, HS2000? Looks similar to that. But again, I had one in for repair when they were out in, about 1992, something like that. There was a charger socket and we'd inadvertently supplied the wrong plug on the charger. You got a I think it was 2.5mm for, you know, these connectors which are often used on power leads. Of course, I've got none here, have I, to show you? And this hasn't got any oh, it has. Yeah, this is the same. So you've got two sockets. And one of them's 2.1mm and one of them's 2.5mm. It's say you can't put the wrong plug in. So they look the same, but they're not. And you can end up by some person forcing the plug in and snapping the connector off the printed circuit board, which is what happened in a case. So it was our fault for supplying the wrong plug on the charger. I just hadn't realised that they were different. So that's the only time I ever saw one, and I was busy at Nottingham Radio, and it came in, it went out, done in 20 minutes. So I never thought about the radio. We probably checked it over, but they flew off the shelf, those ES200s, even though we weren't a CB shop. So that's what I have noticed. So I'm just going to deal with that. You see these are a bit tarnished. So we'll get Mr. Chippy's toothbrush. I had a stutter then. Taking my radio van out tonight. It's Friday, as I say, and we have a club net for the South Kesteven District Amateur Radio Club, and they've decided to do it on 10 metres. Hopefully that's going to be FM. And I'm going to take that President Richard out that I inadvertently bought and made sure was only ever going to be a ham radio. And I'm going to go out with my van, put up the mast. Got one of those wheel mast things which you drive on plate. I'm going to use an Amtron 99, and we are going to see what we can get on the club net tonight. I'll probably take my camcorder with me. You never know, I might get out 35 miles like I would from here. So that needed doing. Now I need to find the lead I was talking about. So it's this type of connector I was talking about. You've got the 2.1mm one, you've got the 2.5mm one, and they don't fit. That goes in that one, and that goes in that one. But that means that that's a bit big for the smaller one. So it's positive centre. So we'll connect that up to our trusty crocodile clips. I can't remember what he said about this, whether it was something he bought off eBay. But if these are as good as the ES200s, I'm just going to pause the video and just see whether we've got an ES200 to compare. No, I can't see an ES200 here, so it's possible we haven't got one. I thought we'd bought one, because you've got the LED version, you've got an LCD version. So, where do we start with this? Well, if it needs anything doing, we can always unsolder the battery case. Hopefully the stuff I've put on has now dried, the isopropyl alcohol. We'll switch on the power supply, and we'll assume it's a 12-volt radio. I thought he said it was LCD, but this is LED. Filter's falling out. So what's this about? So it makes the right noises. And there should be a BNC adapter. I used to have a list just on the brink of CB being legalised in the UK. There was CB Master issued a catalogue via our wholesalers, and our wholesalers, one of the wholesalers then was Bamber Electronics at Littleport. They decided they were going to go into the Citizens Band accessory market, and we were already dealing with their business radio auctions. And I'm sorry that Brian Bamber became ill and had to give up the business. And this is, I say, it's before things were legal in the UK, but there was nothing wrong with selling accessories, ready for the time when it was. And we got the CB Master catalogue, and all these adapters were listed, and they gave you the NC number for them. And you know what? I had a shed, I put it in there along with all those old Maplin catalogues, which were such a good reference guide, especially back in, you know, like 1977, 1978 and so on. And we got a problem with the roof. A tree fell on the thing, damaged the roof. I didn't notice for about 2 years, and then of course it filled up with mice, and that was the end of all that paperwork. So I lost the list of what they were, which is a shame, and all those Maplin catalogues. Well, it's certainly we're not even on frequency. I've not set the signal generator. There we go. So it's educated guess time. Just switch picture in picture on. I don't know how many watts these radios are supposed to be, but it looks tonker enough to do something like round about 4 watts. It has a micro switch for the transmit switch, which is fantastic. So we'll switch the signal the test set to 3 watts, press transmit, and we've got nothing. And I think that's what he said. So we'll get the little monitor receiver out. I lost the charger for this about a year ago to be somewhere. So we've got building work and things are all over the place or in storage, and this is going to go. I've been using this for a year as a monitor receiver, and the battery symbol's on 1, and I actually went on, I think it was Thunderpole's website, and they've got the chargers for these, so I've ordered one. I daren't transmit on it or we'll end up flattening it. No, it's not doing anything. Squelch override. Just turn the signal generator off. No, I don't think the VCO is locking. Otherwise we would have a signal on there. That's interesting. So right now we'll just whip over to receive. I'll just see how sensitive this thing is. Now there's no earphone socket, but hopefully we can just put the... Oh, you'd expect the black wire to be positive, wouldn't you? And we'll switch to the synod meter so you can see where I'm coming from. So for 12 dB synod, as presented to me, 0.68 microvolts. So there's nothing wrong in that respect. Very good. But we've got no transmit. So have we got transmit if we press the channel 9 switch? Of course, it depends what synthesizer chip it uses, and without any data I've got no idea. So put this down to channel 9. There's just a possibility that 9 can work when nothing else does. No. I'm determined that that's going to be the... so put this back to 20. So next question, does it transmit on 140? No, on 40, and no on 1. So it's not going to be the VCO that's out. There is something wrong, and of course there's no guarantee I can fix it, but at least I've got my ones which I can compare voltages with. We'll just pop the power off while we do that. Right, we'll put it back on, and I expect to be now on channel 9. Because we've powered it back up, and we can't... Oh, I don't know. So let's count up. So 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it doesn't let you change channel with the board disconnected. I was hoping that was just display. So we'll take the signal generator down to, I think it's 68125. So it's still working on channel 9 without the board in, which is what I hoped. I'm not sure if it can transmit without this board in, but I think the VCO can, because if you've got high-low power on here, chances are that has to complete the circuit to make the radio go into high or low power. I think we're going to look carefully on the back of this board and see whether there's some kind of dry joint or something. So I'll have a look at that and we'll pause the video. What I've just done is to open up my radio, one of mine, to compare voltages in lieu of not having a service manual. The difference is absolutely incredible. Look at these screens in mine. No ingress of moisture. The printed circuit board where I had to clean on the customer's one. So I think we're going to have to take the screen plates out and see if there's something behind there which is nasty. But to be honest, the VCO doesn't appear to be generating the actual voltage. And of course there is an earphone socket on the top, and I failed to notice that immediately. So I don't hold out much hope because it's clearly had ingress of moisture. You can see from mine, it's absolutely pristine inside, even if it's a bit tatty on the outside. Alright, so I've got to the bottom of this, and I'll solder it up when I've shown you. I've taken the screen plate off, which isn't easy. I was going to take them both off at the same time. I'm glad I didn't. So I've solder socked around here, which is where the screen plate lives. That was a bit better cleaning up. I've touched up the connections to the micro switch, even though that was lighting up, but they looked like they were heading in a dry, jointily direction. And then just here, you know what, I've gone and lost it. There's an absolutely wicked dry joint. And I've poked it and pressed transmit and the radio's come to life. Just one moment while I find it again. Yeah, it's that one there. That's the problem. Under the shield plate. So I've poked it in transmit and pressed transmit and it's come up. So we'll just solder that. Just turn the power off. But what I'll do is unsolder it. And I'm going to unsolder the next one to it. They're both pretty ropey. We'll just solder that one as well. So as ever, dodginess is under a shield plate. And just touch up anything else that vaguely looks like it could be. It's usually what happens is you get dirty component leads when it's manufactured, and especially when you've had an ingress of moisture like this, they carry on corroding. So they, although they were properly soldered at the time, they unsoldered themselves because of the corrosion. Right, so we'll return the camera to its normal position. Switch picture in picture back on. And now we'll put the power to the radio and let's press transmit and see whether that is permanent. It is. We've got transmit. Okay, so I'll put the shield plate back. Which will be a bundle of fun. Trying to get the placement just so. Trying to put it in the wrong way around as well. If I did that, it would be numpty towers. Make sure all these are straight.